You was supposed to record an Ella tribute, so how far ahead is that project?
It's done as far as recording. Now we are finishing mixes, and probably in the next, I'd say, 2 weeks we will be mastering.
Who did you make it with?
Gordon Goodwin.
Yeah, the Big Phat Band?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Not with the Big Phat Band,
Mhm.
but Gordon did all the arrangements. We have some of the musicians from Big Phat Band. Actually, the horns are the guys from Big Phat Band.
Yeah.
The rhythm section is studio musicians.
And how do you feel about his arrangement? He's on a big scale, always.
We had so much fun. And what was really incredible was we've both been traveling while we've worked on this project. And so a lot of times we haven't been able to sit down and communicate how I want to do things. And because we were trying to get this done in a particular amount of time, because it's really more about getting it done when we're both available to do it. So we're kind of rushing around trying to, okay, you're going on the road now, I'm coming back, then I go out on the road, then you come back. So how are we going to coordinate how these tunes are going to be? So we did a lot of stuff over the phone. And there were a few times when we couldn't communicate, but we had to keep going because he was available to do the next track.
Mhm.
And it was miraculous. Every time I would leave Gordon to his own devices, he would end up doing exactly what I was thinking I wanted him to do, and never had time or a chance to tell him. And I use the example of, we decided to do April in Paris. And I didn't have a chance to talk to Gordon about what I wanted because I had this idea in my head that somehow I wanted to reference the bassy, the wonderful bassy line, da 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 da, da 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 da, da da da, which is just, you hear that line, you know it's April in Paris. But it was not written in the actual song. It was written by the arranger who did that arrangement. But I wanted it to be referenced in the arrangement. But I never had time to tell him because I'm on the road and I'm traveling. And every other day I go, oh, I forgot to call Gordon and tell him I wanted him. So he went ahead without me. And he sent me, everything he did, he would demo. And he sent me the demo. And it started with, da 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 da. And I wanted him to reference it, but I didn't want him to reference it like Basie did it. And I wanted him to take the song because it had a special meaning for me because I was in Paris when I was 9 years old. And it was astonishing to me to be in Paris. I was in Utrecht, Amsterdam, and Paris. And there was this little kid from America going, oh my God, look at these buildings. And so I've always had this fascination with that. And April in Paris represents that to me as a song. So I wanted the song to be cinematic. I wanted you to be able to put the song on and close your eyes and maybe feel the excitement that I felt as a child being in Paris. And he captured absolutely everything. And I just kept saying, everything he got ready to arrange, I kept saying, Gordon, make it cinematic. Think of it as a movie. Think of it as underscoring for a film with a wink and a nod at jazz and what that's about. So that's what he did, with and without me. He made it happen in all ways. I'm so proud of this project. I think people are going to really, really, really enjoy it. It's fun.
And do you have a special tribute song like on For Ella hearing Ella sing? Is there such a song?
No, we didn't do that on this record. But what we did do on this record is tribute material that I wouldn't say she's not known for, but it's not the most popular stuff that she's ever done. Of course, April in Paris, she was very famous for doing. We did Mac the Knife, which was very, very famous for doing. We've got about 3 or 4 things that she's famous internationally for doing. But I also did 2 songs from her early repertoire with Chick Webb, which a lot of people are not familiar with. And we did Sing Me a Swing Song and Tain't What You Do. And we modernized the arrangement on Sing Me a Swing Song. We've got a contemporary groove under that. And so we tried to take the music and mix it up and breathe some more modern kind of life into it. And also, as I was saying in the interviews I just did, I don't try to imitate what she did, because it was perfection. So you leave that alone and you create your own world that pays homage to what she did.
You take part on the new Aretha Franklin with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yes.
So what is your dedication to what Aretha did for music?
I was just there to replace backgrounds that already existed, which was kind of difficult because we had to, and I wasn't singing alone. It was me and Lettucey. It was 3 background singers, and we had to totally duplicate all of Aretha's backgrounds. A lot of the backgrounds on those songs she did. A lot of them were done by Cissy Houston and Sweet Inspirations, because those were her background singers for a long time. And we had to duplicate exactly what they did. And some of what they did was not in tune. And some of what they did was not in time, because a lot of it was live. It was just a whole different way of recording then. And we had to match that. We had to match not only what was right, but we had to match what was wrong, because they're keeping that, and we're just adding to it so that you can hear the backgrounds at all, because we're with an entire orchestra now, and these are things she did with rhythm sections. So it was daunting. It was like painting a 747 with a Q-tip. But we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. And we would sing something, and it would sound really great, and we'd go listen to it, and it didn't match the original. We have to go back in. And the other thing that was really funny about that experience was you think you know these great old hits. You think you know them, and you think you know the backgrounds, and you think you know what the words are. So wrong. We would go to sing some line like, I think it was, I'm gonna rap on your door. And we would all sing, everybody thinks the background part is, your door, tap on your window. And we all go, tap on your window pane. That's what we think, that's what we remember the back, and they're like something completely different. Different notes, different words. We're like, okay, what the heck are the words and what are the notes? Because we obviously are so wrong. Or we listen to it. It's funny how you think you hear something and you just know that that's what that background part is. So we went through a lot of that.